in this lesson, you are going to learn how to design or draw mandala art. So basically all a mandala is it's a complex abstract design that usually takes a circular form, and it basically just means that it's going to continue forever. You have them in geometric shapes as well as organic shapes. Sometimes you have the mandala as an entire one piece of work. Other times it's incorporated into something else, like a figure of an animal. You see the owl, a cat, and an elephant as an example. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and, if you'll search Google Images for mandala, and I would like you to choose color transparent and size large. You can pick anything that is not already colored. Okay, so any of them that are black and white, you can use. Make sure they're school appropriate. I don't see why they shouldn't be, but make sure that they are. Once you have it, just right click on your image, save image as, and then we'll place it in Illustrator. So once you have Illustrator open or have your file, go ahead and do File New. I'm going to create a new page, letter size, and actually I can go ahead and assign it a name up here, period number, last name, and mandala 1. Click Create. And as soon as that page opens, we'll go ahead and File Place and find your image. I think that's mine. And you can simply click to drop it on your page. Okay, now if yours was large like mine is, you might have to resize it some. Remember to hold your Shift key down so that you keep it in proportion. That is important. Okay, and the first thing that we want to do is we want to, actually this was not the one that I wanted. Hang on, let me find mine. Okay, so once you get yours placed, you'll want to go in here and do an image trace. And because it's black and white, that's the one we want, just black and white logo. Go ahead and click on it. It should take a couple of passes as it creates the path for it. You might want to open up the image trace panel, and I'm going to check ignore white, which means it's going to take another couple of passes through that panel. And before you do anything else, you do kind of want to double check, because you got to make sure that you don't have lines that don't connect, because if you do, you're going to have a hard time using your live paint. Okay, so if I click on a color, let's say I'm gonna I don't know, use that as a color, start of a color scheme right there. I want you to notice that in your color guide you have some different options here as far as helping you choose a color scheme. So choose one color that you are really happy with, and then use the color guide to help you choose a color scheme for your mandala. You're also going to use the Live Paint tool. And when I click on the Live Paint tool, I get a message that says that this selection contains objects that cannot be converted. Go ahead and click OK. And we will want to make sure that we have our image selected, which at the moment I do. I'm going to go up here to the Object menu, Image Trace, and Expand. And now notice that I have all sorts of anchor points and what have you. When I select it or hover over it, it gives me a different view. Okay, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to resize mine to where it fits on the page. And I might actually want to use my line panel right there to center it vertically and horizontally. I also found it beneficial to zoom in sometimes because some of the places are a little bit small that you have to work with. So I am going to start with this color. Oops, I need my live paint again. And, oops, I did that already. Hang on, let me select, try that again. Oops. All right, so once I select it, it's changing my fill color to black, which I don't want. I don't want to fill it with black. So I'm going to have to go back in and choose that color again, or something similar. And I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to go back in and change my color guide. I don't know why. All right, so I went in and changed it. I changed the color guide here. You may have to go through a couple of times before you get the colors you want. But then you simply need to select a pattern for which you are going to fill in the blanks, okay? I will tell you that there are a few areas, like if you look right here on mine, notice that I have to go in, even though there's nothing breaking it up, I've got to fill it in 3 times. So I just want to, make that 4 times. So I just want you to be aware that you may have to fill in more places than what you realize. Okay, so I just want you to go ahead, even though you've done image trace and live paint before, I want you to go in and do it with this mandala that you've chosen so that you can kind of see how it works. Remember that you, just like this is a pattern of shapes, I want you to make sure that you're using your colors that you've chosen in your color scheme in a pattern as well. Don't just place them randomly. And this is what I came up with when I finished it. I do want you to notice a couple of things, or a couple of places rather. I actually went in after I got it all filled and decided that it might look kind of neat if I had a gradient in some places. So I went ahead and adjusted this set right here to be a gradient. Okay, up to you, but I definitely think it enhanced my artwork. So when you are finished, obviously save it again as an Illustrator file, and we are going to export, save for web. I am going to uncheck clip to artboard so that it kind of snaps to and gets rid of all the transparent pixels. And because there are transparent pixels, I'm going to keep it as a PNG. Remember, if you make it a JPEG, it automatically fills in with a white background. And I'm going to go ahead and save that and make sure I'm saving it to my Illustrator folder in my OneDrive. And that was Mandala 1. Okay. And then that one is ready for you to upload to your canvas.